this freedom love. Let's enjoy this freedom love. Get into this feeling.
Welcome into my soulful sanctuary where truth has a pulse and healing has momentum. I'm Jamie London Clay, and you're hearing Freedom Love, my song, and it's the opening and closing sound of this show. If this song blesses you, if it lifts you, grounds you, reminds you who you are, stream it and buy it on my website. The link is in the description. Jamie Unfiltered, truth with depth, clear, clean, uncut, saying it straight and with spirit-led perspective. This Jamie Unfiltered episode is the end of the Reckoning series, episode number 4. I hope you checked out all 3 of the episodes. If you have not, go back, check it out on the channel. The Reckoning, what the courts couldn't touch, God already judged. Yeah, episode 4. When episode 4 ended, I didn't feel relief. I felt clarity. When episode 4 ended, I didn't feel relief. I felt clarity because this episode isn't about punishment. It isn't about a criminal case. It isn't even about legal outcomes. It's about spiritual justice, cultural responsibility, and accountability. The unveiling of truth in a strategic way. The consequences of a lifetime of choices. Episode 4 is where a lot of people finally admit that we've all been scared to say out loud. He's going down for this, but everybody knows the real damage was bigger than this. Not because the charge doesn't matter. It's because that charge doesn't compare to the years of harm that came before it. Here's what episode 4 quietly reveals. If you have discernment, it reveals heaven handles justice differently. Heaven doesn't need leaked footage. Heaven doesn't require witnesses. Heaven doesn't negotiate NDAs. Heaven doesn't get intimidated by power. Heaven saw absolutely everything. What you think nobody saw, heaven saw. Courts judge evidence. God judges patterns. Here's the difference. The justice system needs proof, timelines, witnesses, cooperation, admissible evidence. They need to be able to prove without a reasonable doubt. Courts judge cases. But God judges patterns and the condition of one's heart. God judges motives, intentions, hidden actions, unspoken cruelty, what was normalized, what was covered up, what was done in secret, what was protected by fear and influence. God judges the seed behind the behavior. And when God says enough, the fall doesn't always start at the biggest place. It starts at the weakest crack. And the whole wall comes down. Episode 4 shows a harvest, not a headline. In Galatians, if you read the Bible, it says you will reap what you sow. Not maybe. Not if somebody reports it. Not if the public believes it. Not if it can be proven in court. You will reap. And episode 4 feels like watching the unraveling, the exposure, the collapse, the consequences. Not of one moment, but of years, of decades. This wasn't just a downfall. This was a harvest, a dark harvest, but a harvest nonetheless. Black culture has to stop protecting harmful people because they're ours. We are at a turning point. For decades, and I mean for decades, Black culture has excused and protected harmful men, especially in hip-hop culture. It's all coming out now. When they were wrapped in talent, influence, icon status, wealth, proximity to power, Black excellence branding. We let celebrity overshadow humanity. We let legacy silence accountability. And we let he did or she did so much for the culture become a shield for what they did to people. And episode 4 forces a hard sentence. If our heroes are destroying us, they are not heroes at all. This isn't just his reckoning, it's ours. Let's be real. The culture loved the image. We celebrated the success. We gave passes. We ignored red flags. We dismissed warning signs as rumors. We mocked victims. We still do. We normalized dysfunction because the music hit. And now truth is hitting like a tidal wave. So yes, this isn't just about one man. It's about our appetite for charisma over character, our tolerance for power without integrity, our addiction to icons. Because the truth is, we thought we was representing us, and what many people now believe they're seeing is that harm was happening around us instead. Discernment is protection. Discomfort is information that we should not ignore. This is the spiritual lesson episode 4 is screaming. Your body knows, your spirit knows, your intuition knows. That tight feeling in your chest, that nausea you keep dismissing, that inner something isn't right. You keep overriding. That's not inconvenience, that's a warning. We have to teach the next generation. Trust the alarm. Honor the pause. Walk away from power or people with no integrity. Stop bargaining with danger because it comes with opportunity. Stop spiritualizing access when your spirit is saying no. If someone makes your spirit tighten, don't negotiate with it. No fame, no access, no money, no dream is worth, Jesus Christ, it's not worth your soul. Discernment is protection. Sometimes the law can only reach one thread. But the collapse is bigger than one charge. And let me say this carefully and clearly. The legal system is still limited. It can only address what can be proven to its standards in its time through its processes. And sometimes the law only reaches one thread. And people confuse that with that's all that happened. No. That might be all that's stuck. And spiritually, God doesn't need the biggest charge to begin the biggest exposure. When it's time for a fall, God can start anywhere. A small opening can become a complete collapse. And when walls come down, every hidden room gets revealed. Sometimes might get it wrong, but God never gets it wrong. He doesn't. And that's the heart of episode 4. Humans might get it wrong, but God doesn't. Human system miss evidence, protect status, fear backlash, delay accountability, reward the powerful. But heaven sees clearly, keeps record, doesn't forget, doesn't get bought, doesn't protect the wrong side. God doesn't care how famous you were or are, how feared you were or are, how rich you were or are. who covered for you, who vouched for you, and who owed you favors. Every seed, whether good or bad, produces a harvest. Every pattern produces a consequence. And every act calls for a reckoning. And episode 4 doesn't feel like the end. It feels like the beginning of exposure that cannot be reversed. Humans, when this episode ended, the clarity settled in my spirit. This wasn't just punishment. This wasn't just cancellation. This wasn't just a scandal cycle. This was justice, spiritual justice, cultural justice. The kind of justice that doesn't need a courtroom to be real. The kind that says enough. And let me be clear, episode 4 isn't only about him. It's about all of us, our culture, our silence, our discernment, our healing, our awakening. This is the conclusion of the Reckoning series. Thank you for sticking around with me if you listen to all 4 of the episodes. If not, go back and check out those Jamie Unfiltered episodes. They're all uploaded and ready to go. So take a listen, read the companion articles, visit my blog. There are 4 episodes, 4 layers from what we didn't understand to what we couldn't ignore to what we finally had to name to what we now must learn from. But I'm not done extracting wisdom from this because he isn't just a headline. He's a cultural figure. And there are lessons here that can protect all of us moving forward. How celebrity power seduces people into silence. How access can override discernment. How trauma gets normalized as industry culture. How systems protect harm until they can. How to recognize warning signs early and walk away clean. So yes, this series is complete. If you didn't look at the 50 Cent documentary on Netflix, check it out. If you don't want to and you just want to hear what I had to say, thank you for coming through. But what comes next is application. If this landed for you, comment what hit you the hardest and subscribe right here on YouTube. If you're looking at me on any other social media channel, then subscribe, like, share, comment, follow. All of that good stuff. Thank you so much for coming through. You're hearing Freedom Love, my song, the opening and closing of this show. If you want to show support, what I'm building with my podcast, with my music, with my blog, building multiple streams of income, sharing the love, the warmth, sharing my knowledge, helping someone that may need my help. I hope that my voice brings out to someone, and I appreciate your support. Stream it, the song, buy it on my website. It's about $2. Every $2 you send is going back into what I'm doing here. The link is going to be in the description. And again, this is Jamie Unfiltered, Truth with Death. And I'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.